Imagine this. You're walking outside of your office or having a stroll down Main Street of the town that you live in, and you're wondering what to do for lunch. You smell something really wonderful up ahead, and you recognize that it's that food truck that you so enjoy. You know the owner. You call him or her by name. So up you go and you place your order. And while your meal is being made, you and the owner have a conversation because the owner has just had a brand new grandchild and you want to hear all about her. You can see the ear to ear grin. While you're talking, a colleague comes up and joins you. And you shake hands in greeting, recommend your favorites on the menu, agree on what he's going to order, and then your order is ready. You hand the owner a $10 bill. The owner hands you back your change, which you put in your pocket or purse, and then you are handed your food. You wave goodbye to everybody and carry on. That was 2019. This is 2021. And that scenario is going to play out very differently in all our lives. My name is Karen. It's my pleasure, as always, to host you today on this edition of the Oldish TV, where we are talking about what might be different as we move forward. You know, the world is not quite over the pandemic, but in places they are starting to open up, which gives hope to places that aren't quite there yet, but we're all thinking about it, aren't we? So let's look at this scenario regarding the food truck. Even if you were at your office, which you might not be anymore, consider this. Does the person in the food truck wear a mask? Do they sanitize their hands before they begin preparing your food? When you pay by cash, cash is something that we've always known was filthy. Filthy. We never really worried about it. Now we prefer our debit cards. Cashless societies are on the rise, and we just regard it as safer because it is. How about handshaking? You know, in the scenario, you shook the hands of the colleague or the friend who joined you at the food truck. Handshaking has gone the way of the dodo bird, and we might be more inclined to bump elbows or bow in greeting. What else might be changing? Well, do you ever go to a boxing match or live theater? I can't wait to go to live theater again, but I realize that bodily fluids are a thing. Live theater, the spitting as people enunciate and speak loudly with their theater voices. And while I've never been to a boxing match, I've watched enough on TV to know that the people in those first couple of rows, they really get spewed with saliva and blood and goodness knows what else. That may go away. We've all heard about bowling, I'm sure. This is like the quintessential thing that people talk about that may be different in the future. We all stuck our hands in the holes in those bowling balls before and didn't think anything of it. And having bowled our turn, we went back and sat down and picked up our hamburger or our fries and munched away while our friends took their turn bowling. Probably not going to happen again. How about blowing out candles on a birthday cake? Might happen in your family home around your family table. I think we are probably quite unlikely to see that in a restaurant environment with people outside of our own family. And restaurants remind me of sharing food. You know, some people don't like sharing food or plates at all. Now they've got the perfect excuse never to share their food again. Remember free makeovers at the makeup counter of your favorite department store? When you would go in to look for that new lipstick or blush or perfume, and somebody behind the counter would say, "Well, come and sit down here and we'll just try this on you." We don't know who else has been at those brushes, who has used them, how they've been cleaned, who else's face they've been on. Highly unlikely any of us are going to jump into that anytime soon. Speaking of jumping, how about those ball pits at fast food restaurants? Some of the larger fast food restaurants have these plastic colored balls that kids just love jumping into and swimming around in. Yeah, probably not. That's probably gone. Crowded bars, festivals, or conferences, probably gated entry with a set number of people. That will probably be the way of the future. Karaoke. Oh, how many of you like doing karaoke? But sharing microphones and singing out loud with alcohol-fueled glee, that might not be the safest thing to be doing anytime soon. Maybe they'll invent some new protocols to help keep everybody safe. How about going out in public unmasked when you don't quite feel up to snuff? This is something that was mentioned in our aging in place group. That's true. Have you seen the look of absolute horror that people give to another person when they sneeze or cough? It might just be allergies or a tickle in the throat, but you don't know. And so you back away slowly from somebody who is sneezing or coughing. Work environments are already changing. Shared spaces or pooled office spaces probably going away. Unfortunately, I did hear of somebody just today who observed all the protocols, went into the office only 1 day a week, shared office space with another individual who had asymptomatic COVID, transmitted the virus to him, and the poor guy has been in ICU for a month now. So, those kinds of things are likely to go away. Many companies, though, are having people work from home to a greater extent. We've talked about this on previous oldish TV shows. They're having people either work from home exclusively. Some companies have said you can work from home forever. Other companies are experimenting with something of a hybrid, or they're planning to do something of a hybrid come fall. 1 day a week in the office, maybe two, and the rest of the time working from home. I saw one article mention escape rooms. Have you ever been to an escape room? Well, my family has done a couple, and I have one daughter. She and her husband absolutely love escape rooms. But the idea of feeling your way around in a dark room, touching things that other people have touched as you seek to identify clues and eventually find your way out, not a very appetizing pastime. Kissing and hugging people who aren't close friends or family, kind of gone the way of the dodo bird. Makes me sad because I'm a hugger. I do like to hug, not so much. The installation of touchless entry, touchless soap dispensers, and touchless toilet flushers are at an all-time high. Everybody that I know who works in that space is incredibly busy with installation requests at this point. Same with those of us who work in home modification. We're all getting a lot of calls from people who want to bring mom and dad home from long-term care or avoid going there themselves for as long as is humanly possible. One comment that came from our group talked not so much about what has been lost as what has been gained. And I really like her comment. She mentioned being more present and tolerant, respecting how vulnerable everybody is. The author also mentioned being kinder, more accepting, and grateful for what is, while not worrying so much about what might be different. I think that's a good place to end our show for today, thinking of glass half full. Thank you, everybody. Do take care of one another. Take care of yourselves. And do remember that it takes a village to age a senior. Bye.